Welcome to AI Chatbot Success, the podcast that keeps it real, takes you to the front lines, where we're building AI chatbots that go way beyond chatting into pushing the limits with tech stack integrations. My name is Scott Hankins. I'll be your host, and thank you for joining us. All right, welcome. So today we're going to be talking about using chatbots in a dedicated process to streamline your business. So what is a dedicated process chatbot? Is it an agent? Sure, I guess so, but it's a lot more than that. So a dedicated process chatbot is a chatbot on a mission. It's trained on a specific company process or perhaps even part of a company process. It does one thing well. I think the best way to describe what a dedicated process chatbot does is to walk through an example. So here we go. So let's say that your company sells products and therefore you have, returns, return policies, all that kind of good stuff, maybe an RMA process and so forth. So you have a customer who has a product, they go to return it, maybe they click on a button or maybe it's a link in an email or something, but the process is initiated and that link or that button that takes them to a dedicated landing page. And this landing page, it's clean, it's specific to why they're there. Maybe it has some instructions or FAQs. But when they get there to that landing page, the chatbot's already in an open state. The chatbot greets them by name because it knows who they are. Perhaps they've logged into your shopping cart and therefore the chatbot uses the same authentication so it knows them. And the chatbot already has displayed a list of eligible products for return. And the chatbot can proceed by asking them, which product they're interested in returning. And whatever your process is, the chatbot can start walking through that process. But in this scenario, let's say that your customer clicks on, the link or the item that they're interested in returning. Well, right there at that point, the chatbot is already creating, an RMA record inside of your CRM system. So it creates the record, gives it a number. It's already started that process, so it can start recording data to that record. And because the chatbot already knows who they are, the chatbot already has a lot of their information. So the chatbot's only going to ask information that it needs to collect, and also perhaps information that it wants to verify, like an address, something like that. And the chatbot will continue to follow your process using your logic, and perhaps that's like notify the retention department. Or perhaps if the product has a value of X, then it can go through without any approval, but if it's over that, then it needs approval. Whatever your process is, the chatbot will follow that process until it completes it, and then it will generate a shipping label, which it can send to them by email. It will generate a shipment tracking ID. It can collect signatures. Whatever your process is, the chatbot's going to walk through, and it's going to do that. So when all is done and said, the chatbot's going to provide the customer with an email that's going to have the RMA number that's based on the CRM record that was created earlier. That also means that the data is already in your CRM, so nobody has to do the data entry. It's there instantly. If there are additional steps, the chatbot will either handle those steps or pass it to the person that will be handling those steps. But if you think about just this one short, simple example, if you're looking at the goals of having a chatbot and integrating a chatbot with your systems and your company processes and so forth, on the employee side of this, the employee experience, if you will, the chatbot does the heavy lifting for them, and they still can be involved where needed. They still can be part of the approval process. They still can have different things depending on what your process is and when the human touch is required. But at least the chatbot does the heavy lifting for them, improving their experience there. And then from the company side, if you think about how scalable this is, I mean, you could do something over and over thousands of times. Very scalable. And it also helps everything follow the same process, which has a whole list of efficiencies of its own. It saves time, it saves money. There's a lot of value to the company as well. And if you think about the customer experience, they could access the chatbot 24/7. They could get a hold of the bot. They could explain, hey, I need to return this. And if it's an item that is qualified, and if it doesn't require a human touch for approval or something, then the chatbot will handle everything. And the chatbot can even be multilingual if you're in multiple countries. And the bot is going to pre-populate information for them so they don't have to put in like their phone number, their address, their email. The bot knows all that stuff, and they could be done with this process in minutes and receive an email with the shipment return label perhaps. So you can see how the possibilities here are endless. Perhaps, another example would be employee certifications. If you're an organization, if you have thousands of employees that need to be certified and have the right CE credits each year and so forth, instead of having a department put on this or people or HR put on this, going out, contacting, reminding, hey, where's your, certification? I need your CE credits, and then answering questions like, well, you got to get it from this organization, and well, here's their email address, here's a sign up page. And instead of going through all that and following up, I know it's a never ending nightmare. Why not train a bot to do it? The bot can know if an employee has turned in their certifications or not. And if they haven't, then the bot can handle it and can answer all the questions, can give them the links that they need to go get their, CE credits, and can even allow them to upload, their certification so that then HR or somebody can review it and make sure that, okay, yep, that's the right one, it's good, and then the process be done. So let the bot do the lifting. Let the bot go out and remind people. Let the bot go back to them 3, 4, 5 times. Let the bot do all that and create a report so you can get a snapshot of the organization. But there's a lot of things that a chatbot can do to ease the workload off of employees and still hand off information at the right time to employees, because you have to have the human intelligence involved with the artificial intelligence. It's got to be there. And there are times where you want the employee, believe you me, you want the employee to be able to accept a handoff or to be able to intervene or be the one to approve, and so forth. So the takeaway here is that a dedicated process chatbot can add some serious value by taking over some of the mundane workload that it can do over and over and over again, serving up whatever it needs to serve up to the right people at the right time. And that can be a lot of value. So don't miss this value add opportunity to think about, all right, how is it that this could really help our company? Where can we get the most ROI? Hopefully this has sparked some of those thoughts and some ideas that you have, because you don't want to miss this one. This is where you can really get some good ROI from your chatbot by integrating it with your company processes as well as your tech stack. So there you have it. Go start making your notes, figuring out your use cases, mapping them out. And speaking of use cases, if you are a subscriber to this podcast, we are putting up use cases and have an ever-growing list of some valuable use cases that we have and that we've implemented, and you might find valuable for your organization. All right, so I hope you got something out of this, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Be sure to subscribe for a summary of the tips provided in this episode, as well as previous episodes, and to get inspiration from our ever-growing list of the latest chatbot capabilities you can use in your organization.